We have wide our video series 24 and 25 learned the various items which come in the profit and loss account statement of a manufacturing concern. Today, with the help of this video series 31, let us understand how the credit appraisal department of a bank reclassifies the various items of a profit and loss account statement. The reason for reclassification of various items of a profit and loss account statement is the bank expects that the activity for which a credit facility is extended, the activity stand alone should generate profit, which means that the bank cannot depend on other income such as interest earned on deposits or dividend income or the profit earned from sale of an asset as a source of repayment. That is the reason why the bank, while analyzing a P&L account, removes all income which are not related to the core business or main activity. Similarly, they also remove all expenses which are not related to the core business and main activity. So, after removing the income and expenditure which are not related to the main activity, they will analyze whether the income from the main activity is greater than the expenses incurred for the main activity to generate profit, and whether the profit that is generated is sufficient enough to repay the interest and installments. Now you have understood the reason why a bank reclassifies various items of a profit and loss account statement. Today, by this video series 31, let us understand how this reclassification is done. Let us first talk about the revenue side of the profit and loss account. We know that the total revenue is equal to revenue from operations plus other income. Revenue from operations is equal to income from sale of goods plus other operating income minus taxes such as GST and excise duty if applicable. So first we will find out what is the total income from operations. Total income from operations is equal to revenue from operations minus taxes, which means it is equal to income from sale of goods plus other operating income minus taxes. Now let us mark the total income from operations as A. Let us now move on to the expenses side. As I have explained earlier, any expenditure which is not related to the main activity will be removed first. An example for this could be a loss on sale of an asset. It has nothing to do with the main activity, so I will remove such expenses. Then whatever may be the expenses of a business enterprise, we will divide that into two. One is called the variable expenses and the other is called fixed expenses. Variable expenses means any expenditure which increases or decreases with respect to the increase or decrease in production. We can very easily understand the examples which come under this. First one is the raw material consumption. When the production increases, the raw material consumption increases, and when the production decreases, the raw material consumption comes down. Cost of power and fuel. Suppose the business enterprises is using power or fuel. Whenever the production increases, the cost of power and fuel will go up. Whenever the production declines, the cost of power and fuel will come down. Wages. We know wages is nothing but the remuneration paid to the workers. So when there is a hike in production, the number of laborers appointed will go up. Naturally, the wages cost will go up. When the production decreases, the cost of wages will come down. Any repairs and maintenance cost on the productive machinery. When the production increases, I will run the machinery for more time. Naturally, the expenses cost of repair will go up. Then comes the depreciation. Depreciation is nothing but a wear and tear. Provision made for wear and tear. So naturally, when the depreciation on the machinery will increase, means the production has increased, I have run the machinery for more time, naturally the depreciation provision goes up. Together with, there is any other expenditure which can be called as manufacturing expenses. All these variable expenses will be added together. To the total of these variable expenses, opening stock of semi-finished goods will be added and closing stock of semi-finished goods will be deducted. What we get is cost of production. To the cost of production, we will add opening stock of finished goods and deduct closing stock of finished goods. What we get is cost of sales. Now, we have the cost of sales. We will add all the fixed expenses excluding interest on borrowings and the income tax. That means we will be adding administrative and selling expenses to the cost of sales to get the total cost of operations. Now we have a total income from operations, that is the income generated from the main activity. Now I have total cost of operations, say call it as a B. The only two expenses which I have not added is, one is the interest on borrowing and the second is the income tax payable. Now, if the total income from operations is greater than the total cost of operations, it means the activity standalone is viable. It will result in what is called as operating profit before interest and taxes. If the total cost of operation is greater than the total income from operations, the net result is operating loss before interest and taxes. This indicates the activity is not viable. Then the bank has to take a decision whether to continue the lending or reject it. So now today we have understood what is meant by total income from operations, what is meant by cost of production, what is meant by cost of sales, what is meant by total cost of operations, what is meant by operating profit or operating loss before taxes and interest. So today we will stop here and continue the discussion on the reclassification of other items of profit and loss account statement via our video series 32. In case you have understood this, press the like button and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much.